This is my gaming setup in my LA studio apartment. I'm not trying to over-exaggerate anything. I think this setup totaled about 15 to 20,000. It's a dual PC setup and it was a bitch to set up. Alright, I'll shut the fuck up. Let's get into the setup. For the first thing we're gonna start off is the desk layout. I have two black girthy desk drawers from IKEA. In my previous setup, I had the white drawers and they were about like $90. And to upgrade to the black drawers, I mean, I sold the white ones, but the black ones came out to like $110. So I don't know what they did with the drawers to make it more expensive than the white ones, but honestly, they turned out really great. The reason why I switched out the desk layout is because there was a lot of people doing the white marble countertops when, you know, gaming setups were kind of like rising to the top. The reason why I like the black version a lot more is because you can literally spot the dust, but you can see my fingerprints now. So it's a lot easier to clean. It's a lot easier to notice like if something's dirty. I'm pretty sure you guys can tell. I have only 4 desk risers in total. The only reason why is because when I ordered the desk risers, I was not gonna wait another 2-3 days for the other 4 to come in. So far as doing its job, my desk hasn't bent that crazy. I think there's like a small little bend, but it's not that crazy. I think these are 2-inch desk risers because I'm kind of comparing it to my dick size and it looks pretty equivalent. So yeah, these are 2-inch desk risers. And for the top, we have like a brown walnut countertop, tabletop, whatever you want to call it, from IKEA. The next thing we'll get into is the wallpaper or the background of the entire setup, which is this Lamborghini wallpaper. I've seen this on YouTube and I fell in love with this wallpaper. 3D obviously, and it has like those little like creases or crevices that you can feel. And I don't know, it just feels different. Like, listen. Yeah, so that wallpaper was a bitch to set up. I think I bought that entire wallpaper for I think $110, $120. If you guys seen that TikTok, I did not set up that wallpaper straight at all. In order to hide how tilted it was, instead of using these to put wires in them, I pretty much use this as a borderline to like hide how crooked this wallpaper is. Like, look at it. And for the top shelf, obviously we're gonna have to go with the IKEA shelf. It's the big version. And for the top of the shelves, these are all the high ground keyboards that I currently own as of right now. Those 4, and then including this one. I did have another one, but I gave one to one of my homies because, you know, I just felt generous. So and that's what I usually do whenever I get free products from like other companies and I, you know, feel like a generous person that day, I'm gonna give it to my homies. So if you guys wanna be my homie, just glaze the fuck out of this video and me after. I mean, we have the JJK Gojo keyboard, we have the Street Fighter keyboard, we have the Attack on Titan keyboard, and then we also have the other JJK keyboard. I've never watched one single episode of JJK ever. So for me to get both of those keyboards for how rare they are, please don't get mad at me. Like I said earlier, it's a dual PC gaming setup. So we're gonna start off with the streaming PC. The streaming PC, I'm pretty sure it has a Ryzen 5 with the 3700X in it with the 1070 Ti. For a streaming PC, you don't really need that much specs, so that did the job. And this is my gaming PC. For the CPU, we have an i9-9900K. For the GPU, we have a 3070. The rest of the specs are obviously on the screen and also can be located in the description down below in my PC part picker. Yes, I know this PC is like 4 or 5 generations behind. So luckily for NZXT, they came in clutch. So if you guys want to see what this is about, there will be a video for TikTok coming soon for that. I will be swapping out the parts from that brand new PC into my gaming PC. And so now for the most important things, my peripherals like my chair, computer, and monitors, whatever. We're gonna start off with the chair. This is a Herman Miller Bantam chair. Pretty comfortable. Literally does the job. A couple cum stains here and there because it just felt so comfortable that I literally like came on it. For the top, I have like these 2 external hard drives that I use for editing. I think this is 6 terabyte and this is 4 terabytes. Moving on to the monitors. For my main monitor, this is my Zowie 240Hz monitor. Obviously, this is my main monitor, so I'm gonna have the highest hertz on this one. For the second monitor, this is an Asus 180Hz monitor. Obviously, you don't need more than 60 Hz for like second or third monitors. That was literally my first main monitor, so I eventually made it my second monitor. And then for my third monitor, which is the only monitor for my streaming PC, this is the NZXT 32-inch monitor. I think it runs at 165 Hz and it's also 1440p. So this monitor is like crisp. Oh, for the monitor stands, we're using a single arm for the third monitor And for these two monitors, we're using the extra tall monitor mount by Vivo right here. On top of my monitor, we have like this mini cooler that I got. So if you guys got $100 laying around, I would definitely invest in this if your room gets really hot. For my mic setup, we have a Shure SM7B, literally the best mic ever. And obviously it's everyone's dream mic because it sounds hella professional. Shut the fuck up! For the mic arm, we have an Elgato mic arm. I've tried over 3 to 4 different mic arms, and by far this is like the best mic arm I've ever used. It's easy to adjust. Like, look at this. Move it up, stay still. Move it down, stay still. And like, you know those little mic arms that are literally flimsy and shit? Yeah, this mic arm doesn't do that. It's easy to adjust, and it also has like a little wire managing. It does it all. It literally hides your wires, and it's one of the most versatile mic arms that I've ever used. And for the XLR, we have the Go XLR. This XLR has a soundboard. You can adjust the knobs to whatever type of sound settings you want in your windows. And then you can also edit your voice if you're like a squeaker or like you just hate your voice and shit. All right, next we have my mouse. This is a Razer Viper V2. I have the G Pro Superlight right here and the Razer mouse, but I prefer the Razer over that. This mouse comes stock just like this. And the only thing that I modified was probably the mouse feet. For the mouse pad, we had the High Ground Performance mouse pad that they sent out, and hands down, I'm not trying to glaze or anything just because like I get free products from them, but this is by far the best mouse pad that I've ever used. It does not move, and it has hella grip at the bottom, so obviously the mouse pad doesn't slide around, and the texture is just like, ugh. For my keyboard, we have the Opal Crystal keyboard from High Ground with silent switches, but I swapped out the switches with blue Holy Pandas, and so they sound like this. For my headset, we have the HyperX Cloud S. If you guys are looking for a budget headset that's under $100, I would definitely recommend going with HyperX. For my streaming camera, we have a Sony a5100. And then for the lens that I use usually is the lens that I'm using currently on my camera. All right, for the last part of my setup is the lighting. Everyone has a monitor light. Or a desk light, whatever you want to call it. I got this from Amazon. It was like literally like $40 or something like that. It's a cheap version of the BenQ one. The BenQ literally does the same thing, but this is like $50 cheaper. And for the main light we use for the setup is a Amaran P60X, I think. Worth an investment. If you're willing to spend $100 more than the Elgato key light, I would definitely do that. Everything is just controlled from behind, so you don't really have to do anything for this light. The last thing, I don't think anyone gives a fuck about it, but this is the wire managing. Okay, when I first finished the setup, it was perfect. But obviously, I swapped gear around here and there, and so eventually it came out like this. I don't think it's that bad, but it does the purpose. I mean, no one's gonna hunch over and look underneath my wires, so. If you guys have any other questions about my setup or my apartment or anything else relevant to this video, leave it down below in the comments and I'll make sure to get back to it. That's pretty much all I gotta say. It's your boy John, and I'm out. Yeah, y'all should probably unsubscribe for that.